Hello and welcome to Evolve Pipedrive Podcast. We talk all things Pipedrive, sales, apps, and Pipedrive Marketplace. My name is Bignell. Today I'm joined by Karan Sharma, the co-founder of hubsell, and he's going to walk us through the hubsell platform and how it integrates with Pipedrive. Karan, over to you.
First of all, thank you, Bruce. Very nice to be here and looking forward to showing you what hubsell can do. So what you see here is our integration area. There's obviously a lot to hubsell more than this, but I just want to show you how it connects to
Yes,
Pipedrive first, and then we can talk a little bit more about what hubsell can do. All right.
love it.
So the installation is very, very simple. You click on our little button here for Pipedrive. When you click it, it will ask you a bunch of permissions. There is no webhooks or API that you need to copy. Just click on allow and install. It will then take you back to hubsell. And at that point, what you can do is set up your field mapping, which is how does the data play between hubsell and Pipedrive? What in hubsell, for example, a first name in hubsell, what is it called in Pipedrive?
Yeah.
And there you map all the fields. You can map persons, organizations, deals, activities, and users. And there is a default mapping. Now, what you're seeing here is some things which are already there. So I can sort of, I think I can restore it to default somewhere.
It was just at the bottom there.
Yeah.
At the
So
bottom
now
left.
the
That's right.
restore to default. This is what Pipedrive needs, the minimum
Yeah.
at the minimum to create the data in Pipedrive. But you can very easily create more information
So
that
that's
you need,
pulling from the Pipedrive custom fields.
custom and regular.
Nice.
Yeah. And so whatever field you create there, I can show that to you. Just a second. If I go to contacts, no, wait a second. How do you do that again? I think it's company
Yeah.
settings and then
On the
fields,
left, data.
data fields, and then person fields, and then let's add a custom field. And this is very important, but for some reason, most CRM don't have that. And what it is the contacts LinkedIn profile URL, right? Most people don't, most CRM don't have it. So we always create it because this is one of the unique identifiers these days. Emails change. As you change jobs, emails change, but
It's
your
so
LinkedIn
important.
profile does not change. And so we use that as one of the unique identifiers. It is, what was it again?
It's a bit of text.
It's
Yeah.
text, right? It's short
Yeah.
text. And yeah, do add that. No need to add requirement. Okay, and now when I refresh this, I should be able to see it here. Context LinkedIn profile.
Nice
And
and
then
fast. Yep.
in hubsell, you will find it under prospect LinkedIn URL. Okay, so I saved this mapping. Now it's saved. I can go and look at some of my contacts. I'll just select a few contacts. I don't want to send 10K contacts in 1 second. So let's just go with these. Let's just do 5 maybe. Here we go. And I can then push to CRM. And now it's pushing the data from hubsell to Pipedrive. And these contacts will be, it's going 1 second at a time or something.
Yeah.
So now there should be 2. Okay, maybe it takes longer. We do batch the sending because oftentimes when our users have thousands and thousands of data points,
Yeah.
Pipedrive stops them
Yeah.
due to the API limitations. So we can batch and spread them.
Nice.
But this should be very quick. Actually, it's only 5 people.
We can see them populating there now.
Yeah, exactly. So it will populate it, and anytime you want more of the data being pulled. So for example, let's say that you now also want the company address in the
Yep.
data. You can go here in your settings, integrations, and you can update the organization and you can add, okay, I already have a company address, but if you wanted to have also company's LinkedIn URL or company's industry, company's headcount, we can even scrape the posts that the company is making and
Yeah.
they can be pushed into Pipedrive. So the posts that they're making on LinkedIn, the posts that the person is making on LinkedIn, we can download those. So we can download the full LinkedIn profile and the full LinkedIn page and the home page of the company.
That's cool. Okay, and would so if they are in your CRM
Yeah.
and then you add a new field, will that push to any organization that this data is already in, or do we have to
Yeah.
remap it?
No, no. I mean, the mapping is here, right?
Yeah,
And so if I want to add another data point in the mapping,
yeah.
I can add it and then I can go and bulk push again.
Mm,
It
no,
does, it also automatically pushes, but since I already had this data before I connected Pipedrive, I can go and do a retroactive push.
nice.
But if I get new data, so right now, if I get a new contact in hubsell due
Yeah.
to our data sourcing, for example, that data will be automatically created in Pipedrive
Mm,
because here I choose push to Pipedrive always.
nice. Okay.
But I can also choose to push them when they're at a certain qualification level. I find that in Pipedrive, since you're not charged per contact kept in the database,
Yeah.
in the Pipedrive, it doesn't matter. You just push everybody.
Yep.
However, we have seen in the past that customers using HubSpot, for example, they would choose only certain statuses.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
hubsell becomes its prospecting base, and then it would then push over to the
correct.
into
Correct.
the sales CRM of HubSpot.
Yeah,
But yeah, and that's a really nice point about the one of the differences with Pipedrive as a CRM. You will
yeah,
never be charged
that's it.
for the number of contacts in your database.
Yeah.
They do have upper limits of, I think it's like 10,000 open deals in a pipeline.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Um,
But I think contact wise, what is it? A million?
we haven't reached it. I mean,
Yeah.
there are bulk upload limits of 50,000 at a time.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
That I
but
understand.
we haven't reached any upper limits on contacts yet.
Yeah, the total context, I think that's a good thing about Pipedrive, of course, which
Yeah,
you can just have your whole database in there. And then also the number of organizations and so forth. Deals, I understand 10,000 deals
yeah.
is the upper limit, but I don't think any company reaches that.
No, I always joke that if you've got 10,000 pipelines, sorry, if you have 10,000 deals in a single pipeline, you're probably set up wrong. Like it's,
Yeah,
like, I can, there will be a lot of deals in a single stage that are just
yeah,
sitting there. So,
yes,
something's broken along that process.
definitely,
Um,
definitely. Yeah,
but so I've that's really cool. I like. Tell me a little bit more about hubsell. So, what's the platform? How does it? Because obviously you've got the data element is so
yeah,
huge of hubsell. So, what
yeah.
exactly is happening here?
Okay, so the with data, what we are doing is first of all, we're not providing you just access to a database. I don't want to name names, but let's say you have one product in the industry that sort of rhymes with Loom Bimfo,
Yeah,
and another one that rhymes with YOLO.
yeah,
But at Hubsell, we don't want to provide a database because databases inherently have a problem that they age. It's a snapshot in time. What we provide, on the other hand, is a process which is run automatically to develop your own database in Hubsell. So Hubsell essentially builds databases very quickly. Within a week, you have your market canvassed. Entire market, whether they are 10,000, 40,000, 50,000 people, they can be canvassed into Hubsell. And then you can select which ones you want the emails from, which ones you want the phone numbers from, which ones you want full download of LinkedIn profile and all that stuff. And you can push them into Pipedrive. So once you have this database, it can be you can use it as if it's a database company, but it's of today.
mm,
That database was made very recently. And in big databases, you might have 600 million contacts, but from those 600 million, your market might just be 100,000. And then from your market of 100,000, they may have coverage to maybe 50,000. And out of those 50,000, maybe only 30,000 are updated in the last 90 days. So the problems upon problems upon problems. The main benefit of databases is that they're instant. There's no wait. But no wait versus maybe taking a day to 5 6 days to build a database. There are many benefits of having a database being built for you. The next thing that we do is once you have the contacts, we can keep it updated. We can sort of run the process every month, every 2 weeks, depending on what you want, and we can keep pinging the public information about them, their LinkedIn profile, their company page. We can keep pinging that once a month for each customer. Since each customer has a private database in
Mhm.
hubsell, we can set up these pings for each of the database, and the data will never age beyond the period that you set, whether it's 1 week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks.
Would
And
that
so
mean
what
the database will be fluctuating so it could grow, it could shrink, it could, but it's live data.
it's live data. So it's
Nice.
we call it self-healing data. Yeah.
And self-healing data. Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I saw that
My LinkedIn.
on your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what the hell that was, but
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Um,
it's nice, and I didn't come up with it. A friend of mine did. I told him, "Hey, this is what we're trying to do," and he created a Venn diagram for me, and then he wrote the word self-healing data. I was like, "This is
mm.
really cool." A lot of people don't understand it because it's very different from the common jargon.
Well,
But yeah,
we hear about the word data decay, right? So
yeah,
HubSpot did was it 22, 24% of data every year
yeah,
is going out of date, right? So if people move
absolutely,
on,
yes,
etc. And I think that was a study from HubSpot about 3 or 4 years ago.
yeah,
But data decay was that term, and I
yeah.
love the self healing piece of that. That's
And
the
and the data decay has gotten worse after and during COVID because of the mass turnover of people. And so a lot of the data that was gathered before Corona, it has sort of rotted out
mm,
because so many people change jobs, and went into gigs economy and have multiple open roles and so forth and so on. So a lot of the databases are quite invalid.
mm,
Yeah. And the number that HubSpot mentioned is very close to reality, actually. I think they averaged it out.
yeah.
We have customers that bring their old data to us and we check. And in some cases, 40% of the data is absolutely useless. It's trash. It's a liability. It's not an asset anymore.
Mm.
So I posted on LinkedIn that as data ages, it starts converting from being an asset to being a liability. Because your salespeople, they need to go and um, call them or email them. And if you have to go and check every time, is this person still there? That's the time of a person that's ideally making 50, 60, maybe 100K a year, right? And so the problem of outdated data is a lot bigger than a lot of people think,
Mm.
and the time that is wasted. We have a customer that is also using Pipedrive, and they have I think around 60, 40, 50,000 contacts that they find is valuable, and they're asking their sales team, hey, we need to use it, why can't we use them to get more deals? And the salespeople are like, well, this data is like 8 years old. I don't want to touch it. And so now there's an internal conversation going that they want to now get that full data rechecked and updated. And
Mm.
they gave us a sample. They gave us around 1,000, and around 450 contacts out of those were, like not there. Some were dead, right? Like
Yeah.
some didn't exist as people anymore. And so
Yeah.
this is how bad uh, uh, static data is, which is just like a snapshot in time.
Mm.
And so, um, and there are some unlocks that you get when you can keep the data updated. Yeah. So when we set up these automations to continuously ping, we detect changes. So we don't just detect whether the person works in that company or not, but we can detect if they have been promoted within the company, or if they're posting new things, or if they added some new things into their skill set. There's so many things you can get from that. It's sort of like having somebody that is always listening out for your market and telling, hey, this changed, this changed. And there are some very powerful use cases there. Now imagine you have, you're tracking a person with Hubsell, and that person is a current account in a current account. So they are a customer of yours. They move to another company. Then there are two things you need to think of. What am I going to do for the extension?
Mm.
And is this potentially a new lead for
Is
me
that
that
a
is
new?
super warm?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite opportunities because if they know you, trust you, they buy from you.
That's
So
it.
then you've got to keep that. You build the moat around the current business.
Yes,
Let's keep you on that,
indeed.
and then you've got a champion internally who then wants to
Exactly.
um, possibly get a. Yes, they've started. They then want to show in the first 90 days how good they are.
Yes,
What's in their tech stack? Hey, have you tried this?
yes.
Yeah, it's one of my
It's very
favorite.
powerful.
Yeah,
And I mean, it sort of depends how much power they have, where they are in the buying
yeah.
committee. If they are the end user, they can promote you up. They can introduce you to the end decision maker. If they are champion, great. They're gonna make things happen for you. But at the same time, you need to think about your existing customer. If they were the main person that
Mm,
decided for your product, they're gonna be replacing the current company, and now you have the task to go and find out other people in your current customer to say, all right, how do I save this account? So it's finding a new opportunity in a new account where your champion left to, and your current customer that is now in jeopardy because your champion left this company.
mm,
So that it's a double-sided blade, right?
yeah.
And the other thing is all your currently open deals, they are also impacted by that. Now, let's say your deal cycles are 6 months or 9 months or 1 year. A lot of our customers have that, and you're talking with five, maybe six people in a company, and one moves. Now, all of the effort that you did with that one person is down the drain.
Mm,
Of course, they might help you in the new company they go to. They haven't really made a decision to buy your product yet. But now you need to find replacements. And now you need to go and start multi-threading with other people in the company. And so you'll be pinged versus checking everything manually yourself every week or every day. You will be pinged by hubsell, hey, this guy or this girl moved to another company.
yeah.
Do what you do. You should do something about that, right? And this, like, receiving this information passively while hubsell does the active work is quite valuable.
I love it. What I would really stress people to do. Well, actually, what would you stress people to do that haven't tried hubsell before? Because that was a really nice. I can see how it touches Pipedrive really easily. It can push the data really smoothly there. What would you recommend people doing? Just going to the site and having a try themselves?
Yeah. So the best thing to do is just to sort of go and request like a demo on the
Love
site.
it.
We do give free usage of the tool, but right now we are not automating it because
Got you.
there are some things that we need to update in the tool.
Yeah.
It's not a slick, perfectly slick tool yet. We are still
Yeah.
working on things. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I would do.
I love it. So there's two takeaways there. There's one that you can, if you want to immediately give this a go to the Hubsell website. We'll have links below, and then obviously we'll keep you posted through our newsletter, etc., and probably update this description as well with when the new go to market goes live
Yeah,
as well for you there. So that'd be really
yeah,
cool. Um,
yes.
and from my side, I just want to say thank you, Karan. That was really, really insightful. And for anyone that does want to try Hubsell, we'll have the links in the description below, and a link to Karan's LinkedIn profile as well, so you can get in touch with him there directly as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.